When it comes to hunting, your choice of caliber isn't just about power or popularity, it's about precision, effectiveness, and above all, ethics. The wrong cartridge can lead to wounded animals, destroyed meat, or even dangerous situations for you and others in the field. With so many options out there, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking bigger is better or assuming that a certain round will work for all game, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Today, we're breaking down 5 calibers you should never use for hunting. These aren't just unpopular choices, they're rounds that fail in real-world hunting scenarios, whether it's because of inadequate stopping power, excessive recoil, over-penetration, or poor terminal ballistics. Some of these might shock you, especially if you've seen them praised in other contexts, but we're looking at the cold, hard facts from the perspective of ethical and effective hunting. So whether you're a seasoned hunter looking to sharpen your setup or a beginner trying to avoid costly mistakes, stick around because knowing what not to use can be just as important as knowing what works. Number 5. Buckshot. Buckshot might seem like a solid choice for hunting due to its widespread availability and impressive short-range power, but it often falls short in real-world hunting scenarios. Designed originally for close-quarters defense, buckshot fires multiple large pellets at once, spreading them over a wide area. While this can be effective at very short distances, it quickly becomes a liability when precision and ethical kills are required. One of the biggest issues with buckshot is its lack of accuracy and consistency beyond 30-40 yards. At that range, the pellet spread can become unpredictable, making it easy to wound an animal rather than kill it cleanly. That's not only inhumane, it also makes tracking a wounded animal extremely difficult. Furthermore, buckshot lacks the deep penetration needed for larger game. Even with heavier loads, the pellets often don't reach vital organs, especially on tougher animals like deer or hogs. This increases the risk of suffering and escape. While buckshot might have its place in certain predator control or home defense situations, it's a poor choice for responsible hunting. If you care about ethical harvests and clean kills, there are far better shotgun options available like slugs or rifle caliber firearms. Number 4. .280 Remington. The .280 Remington, also known as the 7mm Express, is a cartridge with a solid ballistic profile, but despite its potential, it's never really lived up to the hype in the hunting world. Designed as a middle ground between the .270 Winchester and the .36 Springfield, it tries to offer the best of both worlds. However, in reality, it often lands in an awkward in-between that leaves hunters underwhelmed. One major drawback is ammo availability. Unlike the .270 or .36, which you can find in almost any sporting goods store, 280 Remington is much harder to come by. That's a serious concern for hunters in remote areas or those who need to restock quickly. Additionally, while the .280 has decent velocity and energy, it doesn't clearly outperform more popular rounds. It lacks the widespread rifle support and factory load variety that make other calibers more versatile in the field. It's not that the .280 Remington can't take game, it certainly can. But when reliability, convenience, and proven performance matter most, there are simply better, more accessible options out there. For most hunters, the .280 is a niche round that doesn't justify the hassle. Number 3. 9mm Luger. The 9mm Luger is one of the most popular handgun calibers in the world, and for good reason. It's lightweight, easy to handle, and widely used in self-defense and law enforcement. But when it comes to hunting, the 9mm simply doesn't cut it. First and foremost, the 9mm lacks the energy and penetration needed for a clean, ethical kill on most game animals. With muzzle energy typically under 400 foot-pounds, it's designed for close-range encounters with human-sized threats, not for taking down deer, hogs, or even coyotes. Using it on animals larger than small varmints risks wounding rather than killing, leading to unnecessary suffering and difficult tracking jobs. Another issue is accuracy and range. While modern 9mm pistols are precise enough for self-defense at close distances, they fall short in hunting scenarios where shot placement at longer ranges is critical. Even with the best hollow point or plus P ammo, the round simply wasn't designed for the demands of hunting. Yes, the 9mm is a fantastic round in its proper context. But taking it into the field for serious hunting is not just ineffective, it's irresponsible. Stick with purpose-built hunting calibers for the job. Number 2. .300 Winchester Magnum. The .300 Winchester Magnum is undeniably powerful, and for some hunters, that's the appeal. It delivers high velocity, deep penetration, and long-range performance that can take down big game like elk or moose with authority. But despite its strengths, the .300 Win Mag isn't always the best tool for the job, and in many hunting situations, it's actually overkill. The biggest drawback? Recoil. This round kicks hard. For newer hunters or those with smaller frames, that kind of punishment can lead to poor shooting habits and flinching, which translates to missed or poorly placed shots. Ethical hunting relies on accuracy, not just power. Another issue is meat damage. At closer ranges, the sheer velocity of the .300 Win Mag can cause massive tissue destruction, especially if you hit bone. For hunters trying to preserve as much meat as possible, that's a major downside. Lastly, the .300 Win Mag tends to be louder, more expensive, and harder on rifles over time compared to more moderate calibers like the .308 or .270. Number 1. .22 Long Rifle. The .22 Long Rifle is one of the most iconic and widely used cartridges in the world. It's cheap, quiet, and incredibly fun to shoot, perfect for target practice, small game, and introducing new shooters to firearms. But when it comes to hunting anything larger than a rabbit or squirrel, the .22 LR falls dangerously short. The main issue is a lack of power and penetration. The .22 LR typically delivers less than 200 foot-pounds of energy and travels at relatively low velocities. That's fine for small varmints, but it simply doesn't provide the force necessary to humanely and reliably take down larger animals like deer or wild hogs. Even a well-placed shot often lacks the depth to reach vital organs, leading to prolonged suffering or wounded animals that escape entirely. Additionally, the .22 LR's limited effective range and wind sensitivity make it unreliable in field conditions. Its performance drops off quickly beyond 50-75 yards, making accurate, ethical shots even harder. While the .22 LR has its place in any shooter's collection, it should never be your go-to for big game hunting. Stick to calibers that offer the knockdown power and consistency needed to ensure a clean, ethical harvest.